Attention passengers. This is your Captain Necrosama speaking, and you tuned in to a new episode of Top Flight Reads, our weekly YouTube series where we find graphic novels on the internet and review them. This week on Top Flight Reads, we're checking out Love Metal Chapter 2 by Jessica H. Voice. Let's jump right into it with the introductions. Again, Stormray will not be here. He wasn't here last week. He won't be here this week. Let's go on with our introduction, starting with our co-pilot, Tiza, to my left.
All right, y'all. Hope you're in touch with your feelings today because you're going to feel on this flight. Hope you feel good about that because I feel good about what we're talking about today. It's going to feel amazing. Now, as I feel these controls in the front of the plane, flight attendants, make the passengers feel welcome.
I don't even know what to say after that. But okay, hi. Hi, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful flight. And yeah.
Hello and welcome to the flight. I'm your flight attendant, Emiel, and the snack of today is orange creamsicle milkshakes with a mimosa to the captain because he requested. I hope you all have a wonderful flight and enjoy your time. Let's go.
All right, I hope you all feel welcome and you feel delicious tastes on your taste buds because now it's time to feel this plane rising into the air. As we tell you to buckle your seatbelts, click that light on at the top. I suggest you feel like following these directions, otherwise you might feel a lot of pain on the way up. Let's feel this ascent.
Here we see the Brandonius moxonius in its natural habitat. After procuring camouflage material to blend into the school ecosystem, B. moxonius spends ample time to ensure that no attention is drawn to its true nature. His efforts are almost for naught as one Karen Stone calls out to him by his preferred name, Dante, at school in broad daylight. After confirming that Brandon is in fact not a chicken, Karin divulges the deets about their date of destiny, demanding that he drop that dorky facade as she desires Dante, aka the real bad Brandon, for this night on the town. The night is young, the Brandon's here, the time is right, and Karin decides to arrive fashionably late. Fortunately, he sticks to the terms of his blackmailing and didn't leave early, because one look at this cool beauty freezes all flames of rage stirring within him. And in typical teenage fashion, this date starts off awkward AF, which leads to Karin asking the one thing any reader would at this point. Does it ever get super moist under that wig? This totally out of left field question actually seems to be what the nervous youths needed, as this leads to a surprisingly long and engaging conversation that steals the night away from them. Karin quickly adapts to the lost time, fast-forwarding her plans to the final place on her romantic night with the real bad Brandon, a dilapidated train station. Desiring to get into the head of his bombshell blackmailer, B. Brandon lightly pries into her psyche by desiring to know, why are you like this? Thus begins the first round of My Life Story, beginning with the Karin edition. 3 years ago, high school, freshman year. The blunt side we see in her present-day inner dialogue used to be how Karin was on the outside, but that didn't go over so well with her peers. This produced a lot of foof in her life, just when the thought of bothering to continue going to taxpayer-funded foof hole, also known as school, seemed pointless. Karin 1.0 thought her friends were a small solace. Well, yes, but actually no. Commence the foof cleanse, and the expulsion. Oh wait, that's not a good thing. Or maybe it was. As now Karin was given a second chance at getting through high school, and all it cost was mind-numbing amounts of debt for her parents, discarding all sense of self by creating a facade known as Karin 2.0, and dealing with the fact that people actually like Karin 2.0. Oh, yeah, and dealing with the problems of rich all the time. But all of the pain is worth it so long as Karin has Brandon Ravencross. Yep, he's about as convinced of that switch-up as you are. On a more serious note, Kadeen is truly grateful to Ravencross's presence in her life. Their energy, their passion, their apparent mastery of musical composition makes the necessary evil of Kadeen 2.0 bearable to her. She even learned the original song that Brandon wrote from a few weeks ago because of how it makes her feel. Ah, isn't that cute? Instead of leaving after ruining the moment, Brandon instead rewards Kadeen with an anecdote about the band, which then leads into Kadeen showing her respectable human being side as she repents for only appearing to be a dickwaffle, asking Brandon to erase her blackmail material. And shocking literally everyone who's ever read this ever, Brandon instead opts to replace the dastardly picture with a genuinely adorable one of them together. Aw, isn't that cute? And speaking of things that are cute, that is my sentiment exactly at seeing Brandon trying to pass off him knowing that Kadeen never had any malicious intent. He thinks he has control over his life, but while that's a load of malarkey, his assessment of Kadeen's character is not, feeling that after getting to know her that she wouldn't harm someone unless provoked. Kadeen is understandably taken aback by this, and feeling that if there's the slightest chance that they've gotten a bit closer over their date tonight, begs the question to Brandon, why are you like this? This double life thing. This goes about how you would expect. Rich kid must be perfect. Finds an interest that goes against the plan. Parents shut it down with ruthless swiftness. Hashtag tongue twister. Kid is forced to stick with the plan again until a wild metal appears. Audible gasp. His tolerance for listening to metal having peaked at age 14, Brandon needed more than just the CDs to satisfy his need for escapism. An open mic night at the bar of the underworld would give him the platform to express his pent-up frustration, and the answer to his lack of fulfillment, Ravencross. Whether he wanted it or not, the 1 in a million chance that could have saved Brandon from the danger zone turned out to be the best Ganburu of his young life, gaining something that money can never buy. A true family, and Kadeen was about to take that away. Insert self-loathing here. Not wanting things to end on a sour note, Brandon stamps out the sparks of self-pity and reassures Kadeen that he both likes the date she planned, as well as the date planner, Kadeen herself. And almost as if trying to one-up his expression of how he feels about her, Kadeen lays it out like this. I likes you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or the hard way. Suffice to say, Brandon chooses the easy way. And thus concludes Summarizing with Tiza, the serious one.
All right. Hope y'all felt good after looking at that there summary. Now it's time to feel even better by getting how we feel about this chapter 2. Let's make them feel included as we deliberate amongst ourselves and don't have them respond to anything we say whatsoever. Let's go.
We'll be talking about 2 sections today, characters and story. Not much to really say about art. It'll be redundant. We just did this chapter last week. I don't think that art has changed that much. So let's jump right into it with characters. Character number 1. Since this chapter started off with them, we're going to go with Hannah Montana. I'm sorry, what you call him, Emil?
I called him Hannamon Zephron.
Hannamon Zephron. All right.
Because he looks like Zac Efron, but he has the cover story of Hannah Montana.
All right. What anyone want to talk about Hannamon Zephron? Emil, let's start with you.
With me? Ooh woo. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
I was like panicked. I was like, I never go first.
Oh.
So I was like, what to do? I had a question about Hannamon Zephron for you guys. So when Hannamon Zephron wakes up in the very beginning of the chapter, his under eyes are like very dead because he's waking up at 5:30, and then like he does his makeup and everything. Do you think he like used like foundation or something, or do you think he's just like that good to where it just snaps to not dead looking under the eyes.
I think he might have used some foundation. He looks like he's experienced with this. You know, he's been doing it for a while, probably.
Okay.
Got the
Originally,
hair all up and everything.
Got the eyebrow pencil. He know what he doing.
Also, we can tell that Hammond Zephron has thicker hair, even though it is layered because of the bun thickness. Like, I have thinner hair, and his hair is shorter than mine and more layered, and his bun is actually still bigger. So, dude's got some thick hair.
Watches his YouTube tutorials, definitely.
Yep, and he somehow fits all of that in that wig, which is amazing.
Expert.
Anime magic.
I'm telling you.
Manga magic? Whatever you want to call it.
Ah, man, it's anime magic right there.
And
Well,
then,
I love that it shows it takes them an hour and a half to get ready.
wait, it does? It does!
Yep.
Yes!
They instant breath.
I also think it's a cool, like, thing for him to take an hour and a half because our main girl character, like, is probably the type to get ready very quickly, so him taking, like, that long to get ready, it's like, yeah. It'll just be 5 minutes, hour and a half later.
Oh, see, I just love how this just shows. It's like, yo, I'm perfect by day, boy band by night. Wake up, look in the mirror, and stare at death.
Right. Also, he's easily shook, but that's the same as, like, before. We dealt, like, most of what I want to talk about is story. I like him, this version, like, I like learning, I guess, more about him, but, for somebody who's so reluctant and who so much does not want to be doing all of this, he really does very easily just, like, yes, this is my life, and I'm having a good time. So, like, I guess good for him.
Keeping up a persona is hard work.
Oh, of course.
Ooh.
I don't know. They have a game for that.
yeah,
Don't they have 5 games for that?
even more than 5.
Is there more than 5? I only thought there was 1 through 5. How many?
There's
do they have?
side games.
Yeah, a bunch of side ones.
Oh my.
He's got a weird tongue thing going on. That exists.
Oh, because when you're in a metal band, you do the tongue thing. Have you never heard of Kiss?
Yeah,
I have indeed heard.
having that tongue is a requirement.
Yeah. He said that's his song.
Oh no.
So I like how he was like, yeah, I know you were bluffing the whole time.
You didn't know. He's trying to play it off like he's like the one in control. Like even in last chapter, he was just like, you better not tell anybody or I'm gonna. No, that's not how this works, sweetie. He has a lack of control that is shown so much in the series, in his life, in his like choices. Like even this random chick that he just met, he has no control.
None, because like he couldn't. Like they forced him into the band.
That too. It was a great thing that happened to him, but he just can't make his own like and he's having trouble keeping up this double life to the point of where he's like, oh, you listen to Pantera too? And then she's like, too, and then he's like, oh, frick, I fricked it. Like, that's just very much him.
And there was the flip. Oh man. Anything else on his character? There's a lot to go over for his character, right?
But a lot of that came from the backstory that was revealed in stories. So
Yeah, so I was, like most of what I can say about him was we talked about in story.
That's where I didn't want to overstep, because I always tend to start talking about story before it's time for story, so.
I think with this chapter, since it's focused on 2 characters and 2 different stories, well, 3 if you count the not flashback, I think it's okay to just do both at once.
Okay.
Just focus on him, then focus on her.
We can do that.
probably, yeah.
Let's go with it. What y'all got to say about him in general, his character and his story?
Wait. Did his backstory happen first, or did hers?
I
Hers.
believe hers did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we started with him, so let's might as well just go.
Alright.
His backstory, I mean, it's it's like I want to say it's cliche, but it's not like the cliche that's annoying because like, you know, this isn't something that we've never seen before, but I will say it was executed well because like even though it's like, you know, he just
Sorry.
Adorable.
I've been sneezing all day. I'm sorry, the allergies are bad today.
We're keeping that in.
Oh, of course
Yeah.
we are.
Oh, thank you for my sneezes.
So again, like even though it's like nothing that we haven't seen before, like you know, he's the perfect child who's always has to be perfect, super strict parents, and wanted to rebel and found music as his way to escape. It was executed well because it wasn't just like your average thing, and then like in terms of how they handled it, because like sure he wanted it to escape, but also the characters that we will learn about later with the band. A big part of his backstory is because of that band, because it was the band that was really his turning point, not just, you know, he became a musician and then just slowly went to the band. It was just, no, he went to music and then the band pretty much found him. It was like, no, you're joining us no matter if you want to or not. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they executed it. So good job for his backstory.
Why do
sorry.
I feel like his moment? You know, the moment when he starts singing on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
When he pulls like just the I needed to sing and get this out.
At the karaoke bar.
Teaser.
Yes.
He went full Zombieland Saga.
Oh, he definitely did.
By the way, Akashic, I think I might have sneezed in chapter 1 as well, which is funny because I'm actually allergic to metal, so what a coinky dink.
Oh wow.
Hey.
I'm allergic to nickel specifically, but metal in general.
Nickelback. I mean,
I would say he was singing a Nickelback song. That's why he started singing.
Hey, he ain't that trash.
oh,
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
you're not about to come at
dang.
Nickelback like that. Nickelback is actually pretty good.
They just became a meme, which was kind of their downfall.
That was a downfall, just like Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth is cold.
They had one song.
They see, and that's another problem. They have more than one song. They catalog is actually cold if you go through it.
so hardly respond to Brandon anymore. Like he creates his own name and whatnot, right? And he uses it so much he doesn't even really notice his original name.
Which is probably why he's so shocked when at school Karin calls him Dante, and he's so used to responding to it that like not responding to it feels wrong.
It's his whole story is one of those, yeah, rich people have problems too type of stories. Just like I don't have anything against it. You don't see it too often. Normally you see it with antagonists, right?
We don't know if he's an antagonist yet.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying normally
I'm
you
kidding.
see that with an antagonist. You don't really see it with
Yeah.
one of the main characters too often.
The only thing that
Unless they're
confused
right.
me. Yeah, my bad.
Go ahead.
I said the only thing that confused me about his backstory is when he said that he went to a karaoke bar. I'm like, he was in middle school, wasn't he?
What that mean?
You can do karaoke bars in middle school. Look, first off,
I don't know, dog. Every
look kinda
karaoke bar I
overly
went to, they card you at the door, bro. I don't know if it's just the ones I went to, but
Look, he's rich. He can afford it.
Yeah.
he can afford what?
Fake ID.
To pay off the bouncers, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
leather jacket wearing.
Look, they saw the look in that kid's eyes, and they were like, I don't want to, I'm not messing with that one. That's up to you. And the other one was like, no.
And
I dealt with something like that last week. No.
kissing on the first date. He eats.
Oh yeah, that was well. I mean that happens, but anyway,
Would
not
you like
not
to
all
share?
the time, but huh?
I was like, would you like to share?
Oh no, we ain't talking about me right now. But
Yeah, like he
huh?
he is like he has no control. I think he just lived that, like growing up having no control, having overly controlling parents. Like, yo, this is just what life is, right?
But
My
if
friend-
you oh, go ahead. I was saying, if you think about it, that's literally what his life has been, because he said like he never was able to do anything for himself or as himself his entire upbringing. So that's probably why he is the way that he is.
So easy to blackmail him. So easy.
Like, you gonna blackmail me? Oh, all right.
But hey, he knew it wasn't anything bad, don't you know? He was
No.
just playing along.
We
make
going
it
to
feel
this.
better.
We
Look,
going
Oh,
to
no,
dark,
he didn't
this
know.
abandoned train station. That's cool.
oh, all right. You just want to go on a date? Oh, all right. You want to kiss? Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the kiss? Do you think that like he and her shared a kiss because she instigated and he was like, yes, like she wants to kiss, we're doing this, or do you think he was like making a decision for himself?
No, I don't think you know
all
how fast that happened.
It
She
does
pulled
happen
him
pretty
in.
fast.
She pulled him in, but I think he was all right with it. Because being pulled in, you still got that split second to be like, oh, heck no.
Yeah, but he's never been able to say no in his life. So like, do you think he wanted this, or do you think he was just going with her feelings?
No, he wanted it because he likes her.
Okay.
All right. Anything else want to say about
Oh,
Dante?
actually, speaking of which, because there was a line he said, I feel like Skip Bayless right now with my little notepad and my pen, but it was a little moment in there where when he was like, I already told you before that I like you. And then she was like, what? And then he was like, I told you that you weren't a bad person. I'm like, that doesn't mean that you like her like that.
He
Well,
don't
then he
know.
said, I would have left by now if I didn't like you.
Now that part I was all right with, but when he was like, I already told you I liked you. I said you weren't a bad person. That does not mean.
Oh, I know.
One more thing I want to say about Hannah Montana, Hannah Monzefron.
Hannah Monzefron.
This dude's schedule has to be crap.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
like because
Yeah.
he's going to bed. Do you remember the time that he went to bed after? Dude, when are they going to bed now? Because the cafe place closes.
They closed at 10,
Close it
Right.
They did some stuff.
and they left and did 2 backstories and played some music.
And
Yep.
kissed.
And he wakes up at 5:30 minimum.
So, and look, he does. So
Music.
we already know he does. He's the lead singer of a metal band,
Mhm.
and those tend to go. If he's working at a bar, bars tend to close around 4 a.m. Right, depending on where you are in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He
And
works-
remember, he has perfect grades, so he's got to study.
So he's gonna sleep around at the earliest 2 in the morning. At the earliest, he's gonna sleep at 2 in the morning.
Is he playing every night though?
No, they only play every other week.
Every other week.
Once every other week.
So that's not super bad.
So the days that he does play,
But you also have to count in rehearsals too.
Mhm.
because he has to study, he has to have practice for whatever sports he plays. We know he plays basketball. We don't know if he plays any other.
He also is writing music.
His first try doing a song, but yeah.
Oh, actually, quick point about him playing basketball, because that was another thing that kind of made me raise my eyebrow for a bit. Because if you remember in his backstory, his mama pretty much destroyed his whole life as soon as he was like, hey, I want to learn how to play the piano. And she's like, what? Why would you waste your time with something like that? So she won't let him play piano, but she let him play basketball?
Because she doesn't want him to do something that like he really, really enjoys, because she wants him to do something that will make money or like be successful rather than a gamble like basketball or music.
The basketball is a bigger gamble than music.
I think
Well,
it was
right,
more
but
because
it's not going to be a
she
career.
has that was just part of her plan. Okay, just be like if knowing who he is, if he's playing on the basketball team and knowing who his family is, they're going to make him like one of the leaders in the team.
And
I'm
nothing
thinking
bad
they're
about that.
like her mom was like, "Yo, you got to learn how to be a leader." It's part of her plan. Join basketball, become the leader, always get good grades, be number one at everything in school. Oh, you want to do that? You're really interested in it? No, because that'll make you rebellious. You're thinking for yourself. I don't like that. Do what I say.
Hey,
I
hey,
can see
Necro. You know what he got?
What do you got?
See, here's what happened. He gambled with his parents one time, right?
Mhm.
And then he lost hard. Lost
Oh.
all that money.
Oh,
He became a
God.
house pet. They got
Oh,
this boy a
God.
life plan. And you
Oh.
gonna stick with this? Otherwise, you through. That's what happened.
Oh.
Piano ain't in the life
get it.
plan, son. What you doing?
Piano ain't on the blue
Piano-
line. That's what happened.
Oh
Even
no!
piano's not on the blue line.
Okay, why you taking it in that direction? I'm up here trying to make a wholesome kakegurui reference. And here you up here talking about Google.
Cafe
Maps.
Cootery,
To be
wholesome.
fair, Akashic said it. I just reset it.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying him. He started this.
What? I just made an observation.
Alright.
Oh, they're making statements.
But no, like you need extracurriculars for college. So instead of music, which would have probably been their choice extracurricular, since he was actually really interested in it, like, well, because she's raising her son probably to be a CEO, like, or something like that. Like, she's like, you need all this stuff instead of music, which would have been a safe bet since he's interested in it. She's like, fine, you'll do sports because you aren't as interested in sports. Like, to settle, because it is an extracurricular, and she can just make sure that he doesn't get hurt, basically.
Anyone have anything else to say about Dante and his backstory?
I hope that in the future of the series, he gets to get away from his parents and he doesn't have to do... Like, he doesn't have to be like, oh, well, this is the life I was born with. I hope he does get to be Dante and be happy.
I'm not making any more predictions.
Not a prediction, I hope.
I'm not making any more hopes either. Wow.
That's
But-
not a prediction. That's
It's
a
just what I hope.
spoiler.
Oh my god.
It's not a spoiler.
Paul Heyman references. Alright, let's move on to our main character, Karim. Boom.
Oh,
Alright.
strap yourself in for this cartoon character.
Oh gosh.
You started off, Tiza.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Facade.
Like, in all honesty, I didn't really get to take detailed notes this week because this week has been this week. So let's just go straight to that backstory of hers. So, apparently, whatever happened at a previous school was enough to make her grow her hair out. So you already know that's a bad sign.
Oh.
Because she started off with that, that short little, basically top of the neckline, And we see what she got now. She can whip that hair back and forth. But anyway, back in the day, I'm up here looking at this, she already ain't really cared too much about people in the first place, but she had that small circle, that small little close-knit, what she thought was her fam group of friends. And I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody got that. I had one. It was like 3 deep because I ain't really had that many fingers to count, so I just kind of stopped at 3. But anyway, so she had one of those. But it turns out, after a little bit of rumors got thrown around, which was apparently started by that group she thought she was cool with, that's when everything had to go to the heck place.
Mm-hmm.
She was just like, oh, no, frick that fool, frick that fool, frick that fool, frick that fool with the twin tails, you son dairy motherfucker. She was just like, you know what? Get all these fools out of here, man. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. It was a bit more violent than I was expecting, but I respect that. Because you got to clean out the foof in your life. Cleanse the foof. Foof cleanse.
Hashtag foof cleanse.
I was about to go into a Billy Mays stint, but I ain't going to disrespect him like that, but I've been having a terrible impression. But anyway,
Oh.
so I'm like, yeah, she had to start over in some way, shape, or form. Because, you can't walk around with less than a high school education, I guess, in this fictional world. And also her parents wasn't allowing that, so I was like, okay, fine, she got to do something. However, I find it interesting that her thing to go for to start over is to legitimately become someone else. Like, I kind of get why that was a course of action. I thought that's a little interesting because you're already relocating to a new place, new surroundings. No one knows you yet. I just thought she would have tried to, just keep being who she actually is and see if anyone actually, I don't know, can understand that, rather than just putting on a facade, which would kind of put her into the exact same group that she criticizes to begin with, which is people being basic.
I mean,
I think the idea with that one though was that she was putting on that facade because she knew it was fake anyway. So she was basically putting on that facade so she won't fall for it again, like I guess the first time.
And
What-
also, she did mention that she tried a little bit, like, after, she had been faking for so long, and then she realized that people liked fake her over, the parts of her that she was showing that was herself, so...
what I think is like, okay, she got bullied in her previous school, being herself, and now she got expelled. And her parents like, you know what? We're going to take you to this school with all these rich people who know nothing about the world. Okay, cool. So if I got bullied in my old school, I'm pretty goddamn gosh darn sure I'm going to get bullied in this school if I don't conform or pretend like I'm going to perform. Put on a mask or something. Like if I'm not one of them, I'm probably going to be Stanley.
Man.
Like she's seen her teenage high school romantic comedies. She's seen her
Also,
Mean Girls.
You can't beat up the rich kids because her parents already had to pay for the kids that she beat up at her last school.
Rich kids got money.
They got lawyers. Can't do that.
This will be her final straw, so she definitely can't risk that.
She will have that exogenesis moment.
No, see. She only beat them up because she found out they the ones that started them rumors about her.
Yeah, but she still got in trouble for it. She still got
I know.
expelled.
All I'm saying is that wouldn't have happened if they weren't foofy.
Look,
Right? So she don't know
if
if these new people will be foofy.
No, they got money. They don't care about everyday problems.
Look. They can still be foofy and got cash.
Look, Cindy is complaining about her lack of cash, even though she has so much. Like
she has $200 a month for an allowance.
Bruh.
And she looks like one of those
Yeah, she sure do.
You know, the Mojo Sama types, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I love the villainous.
We'll put the trope page in the description.
Oh god. Oh man.
I wish we would review a villainous series. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, so she put on the facade to like make sure she doesn't get into the same situation. And I think she felt like it was more likely with the crowd of this new school.
Mm-hmm.
I get why she did it. I guess I wish that she did it just to see how it played out.
Yeah, you want like a different.
Yeah, that I agree with.
Here's my thing with that. I like how the author is doing this though. Like it's stuff that like we've seen before, but it's executed well. And that's where I don't want to say like that I want it to be necessarily different because I really like this a lot as it is. I think like I don't want to say that I want it to be different because the author actually did a really good job to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though it's stuff that I would normally like be shredding or making fun of. I like how they executed it, even if it is kind of basic.
And in my opinion, she is without a doubt high freaking hilarious. She's like, so does it ever get super moist under your leg?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
And like that's the
and
first
he's still
thing you
calling
say
her
on a
stalker,
date.
by the by. He's just like, she's stalking me a while ago, you know, like.
Does it get moist under there? Excuse me? That's how you break the ice?
It's like, why not?
Oh no.
Oh, but speaking of her weird dialogue, there was one thing that also made me. It was the one moment where I think I don't know. It was the second time when he asked her when Bane, what's his name? David Bane?
What?
Bane?
Dante Farrow.
Dante. How did I forget his name that quick? Anyway.
Dante Farrow.
Look, I'm awful with names.
So am I.
Look, I'm calling him Bane. Anyway,
it's all right. I had to read my script like 80,000 times. That's why I know it. Just go on.
So when Dante/Bane asked her for the second time, like, why is she put on that facade? And then she didn't look at him. She like looked down and was like, does it really matter? And he was like, oh, my bad. And then she was like, no, don't worry. I'll tell you. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Listen, she's a high schooler. She's angsty.
No, that's not. That ain't no reason. Don't you do that.
I'm gonna tell it how I see it type of person.
I think it's like the way that. Oh, I was gonna say. I think the reason why it was wrote like that, and maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but I think the reason why it was wrote like that was because it's like she's like so used to bottling it up and not telling anybody. And then she's like, wait, I'm trying to share here. I'm trying to let this dude get to know me better. Okay, I'll tell you.
See, I would have been okay with that if it was a situation where if he would have asked her at first at the cafe and she responded with that and then he backed off and then later on she ended up telling him, I would have been fine with that. But to literally change your mind the next panel,
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it was perfect, but I do like how they've been doing things.
Oh yeah, for sure. The way that they handled it was really good. I will say that because this chapter was long.
Yeah.
It was long with 2 backstories in it, but
I
it
still
held my
love it.
attention the entire time. So, very good job.
Which confuses me.
Yes.
I know. That's
Hey.
one of the things I love about it because it's
The
full of
audacity.
things that is like that normally you'd just be like, no, that we would like complain about, but it's executed so well that like we're still here.
Because they're
It's
learning
great.
about each other, and so are we, the audience. It makes us feel included
I
because
think
we're learning
another-
about them when they are.
I think
Yeah, but
another
it's not the
thing,
way that
exactly. I was just about to say, we're actually seeing the chemistry instead of just having a couple pages. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to go.
No. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
No,
That's
No,
what we here for.
this is a good important thing because like this is a good learning experience.
No, I'm saying,
especially
this
for someone who wants to write.
This is actually like we're actually seeing how chemistry should be written. Like they actually are taking their time to write it. Like sure, this was a long chapter, but if you can do it right, it being a long chapter is not a complaint because I had no problem reading all through it because it was well done of like how we're learning about them as they're learning about it, which is good. It's not it doesn't
has
feel
the-
rushed. Like it's
Right.
beautiful.
She has those. She still put in those moments that you would otherwise consider cringy, but make them less cringy, or at least funny. Like
Yeah, the cringe helps it be funny though because it helps break the seriousness a little bit, but not to the point of where you lose the immersion.
you're like, wait, but I've been able to cope with that because of you. I'm like, oh god, cringe, and then he's like, wait, what?
It's
Dog.
like, oh, stalking me. It's like,
Because of you. Normally, see, now I will say, like normally, like I would have closed out the whole freaking window if I would have to read because it makes me puke. But
You know,
they
like,
played it off really well because it was like because of you, and then it was awkward between them, and then that was cute, and then she actually explained it out. So see, again, well done. I appreciated it.
they also show that like Karin regrets her actions rather than just being like, well, I'm justified because I'm lonely. She's just like, I am the literal worst.
at the blushy moment. Oh my god, so
But
much.
no, I love keeping this as like an example. I really wish that like
And it's just so the cringy moment is just so like, oh my god, she's really playing his song, he's singing it, and then she F up. Wait, they got the shoujo free.
I love the shoujo sparkles because they're not in a way that makes you
Hey,
hate
look,
it.
man.
It's like in a
Oh
good, tasteful way, and I love it. I
And
love
then
it.
he's like, and then she messes it.
Yeah, see now that's a beautiful moment
then
because
she
it's
just-
like, oh, that's now that part I really enjoyed because it was like a typical pukey shoujo moment, but then she ruined it. But she ruined it in the
I
most
love
beautiful
it.
way possible, and I loved every second of it.
Like you take the cringe and then you freak it up and make it genuine, and
Yes,
just, I love it.
It's like
Just-
realistic, like in a way that you can tell that like she worked so long on this series. Like it feels like every like thing that she was doing on it was something that she really like took her time to think through. And I love it.
He had the flashback of when John messes. He just oh frick, man, gotta try to break it. I can't.
I hope she doesn't get offended that I was calling him Hanamon Zephron, because honestly I'm enjoying her series. But he is, so
Oh yeah. Also, another thing about cutting here, she has some sense of honor, since she actually did give Brandon the opportunity to delete her totally juicy blackmail material.
oh gosh,
But she never. But the thing is, she never actually did it. Took the pictures. She took one picture of just Brandon.
Oh, I know. She gave him the opportunity to kill it still, because she was like, you know what? I feel bad. I was a schlong. Please take this schlonginess away from me by getting rid of this evidence, please. It was wrong. I admit it. Do the thing.
and then he was like, hey, let's take a picture with your favorite not Tool boyfriend. Let's go. Well bang.
And
I ain't gonna
One
lie,
of the
that was a
best-
pimp move right there. My man, like he got kudos for me for doing that. My man said, "Come here."
and that was like one of the best moments without the cringe. Like he took a picture and she's blushing. It was like, oh snap!
Mhm.
No cringe moment either. Just figuring. I like. But follow up with the. By the way, I already knew you were bluffing, lying.
Like, you lying.
Jeez.
Okay, I didn't. You figured me out.
I hope that that's a continuing thing throughout the series, by the way, that he just is like, I totally knew the whole time, like, no matter, like, or like something like that, and they're just like, no, you didn't. And he's like, they got me again.
No. See, he didn't know at first, but he figured it out later because he's so super smart, don't you know?
I think he figured it out like 5 minutes before they got there.
It's still later, though. That's all I said.
What's the name of that character in Yu-Gi-Oh that plays with the dinosaurs?
Rex Raptor.
Rex Raptor. Okay, this Rex Raptor is in this band. We're moving on. Cut that out. I just wanted to say that.
Do
No,
we need
keep
to
that in.
move on to like the overall? Because we've been here for a while.
There's still one more thing for cutting, dog.
Gotcha.
You know what? Toward that end of the chapter, y'all know the moment. If you ain't read and you missed that summary, somehow, I'm going to tell you right now. She looked that boy in the eyes and she was like, yo, when I look at your eyes, I see the stars because you light up my world. Now check this out. I like you and I want you.
Mm-mm.
Now we can kiss this the easy way
Mm-mm.
or the hard way. The choice is mine. Get over here. And then she just played it. And I was like, oh, shoot. She aggressive. Okay. She let her feelings out in the open. All right, cool.
He's into it.
That's great. Random point. So Karen, right?
Yep.
She's like, this band helped me, like, through when I was in a hard time adjusting to a new school and everything, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And she really likes the lead singer of the band.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then, even though he turns out to be someone else, someone that she really despises just the idea of, even though she doesn't know nothing about him, and she kind of idolizes another part of him, which she knows nothing about. She has a date with, she gets a date with the lead singer of her favorite band, and it goes well. Like, I don't know. It's just a random point, just a random statement. Like, that's,
To be fair, it kind of started awkward AF.
It did. She figured it out. Oh man. Anything else before we move on to overall?
Are there any other characters we need to look at?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the band members, but they haven't become a really big part yet.
They haven't had a big part yet, but I'm going to take a page out of Storm Rave's book, and I'm going to call it right now. John is the best character in this entire series.
What?
Also,
Man,
Wait,
you
but
know,
we also
dog,
got to
you
see
know how
Cindy
I
again.
gravitate to the characters with the anger issues, dog. My
we
man.
also got to see Cindy again, though. Cindy is a reoccurring character, which I
Her
think
looks
is
pretty
fun.
good.
Yes.
Wait, John's like, yo, I messed up.
I messed up. Let
I'm
me
break my guitar.
guitar right now.
Oh, there is one thing I wanted to
He
say
was
that
like,
was
you
for
gonna
art.
join this
Also,
band?
like,
Where you gonna join this band? On
like my guy, you gonna join this band? Like, I don't want to have to get physical in here, but I just want to make sure you understand that you're going to this tryout. Like,
this ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. You gonna be there.
he's like, man, I already said I'm gonna be there. I know that, but I just want to make sure you understand. Like,
Necrosama trying to recruit me for Top Flight was basically that. He was just like,
you
you gotta
threatened her?
join. Because he was like, he's like, you have to join the Discord. Like, come on, like, it's fine. Like, everybody's super nice. Come on. Like, and he kept, like, reminding me, and, like, occasionally, like, he'd see me on campus, and he'd be like, hey, you haven't joined the Discord yet. When are you going to join the Discord? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, come on, do it right now. I'll show you. It's really easy. And, like,
Nice.
You wanna
I
bring up?
wanted to say, because we didn't talk about art, but the Chapter 2 cover, I love it a lot, and I hope that somebody's making that into a shirt, because I want one.
That is a shirt. That is shirt worthy, poster worthy.
Yeah,
The
okay,
puppet one?
so the one where it's like he's at the
Both,
graveyard with the puppet, and like in the background
puppet.
it has his name on the grave. It has Brandon Markson on the grave because that's
Yeah.
dead to him.
Yeah,
That's-
Brandon
Better.
Martin died.
that is
There's a
cool.
raven on that tombstone.
Right, and
Because
that
that
raven
boy
kinda looks
died
like
as soon
him.
as he learned about Ravencross. Dog, look at that.
It's a wonderful thing, and I want that to be a shirt, and I'd buy it. So like, make it a shirt, somebody, please.
I mean, well, hopefully,
Yeah, make it a
hopefully
shirt.
the author and illustrator will see this, and then they'll probably make one for you. Hopefully,
They're the same person.
wink, wink.
Also, the site has a store section, but it has to be rebuilt, it seems.
Well, right, it says the new shop is coming soon.
Eat the shirt.
That shirt is awesome. That's what I wanted to say for a side point.
One of my points. I really love how she showed the two sides of Hanama and Zephyron. After she leaves him and like, yo, I'll see you tonight, and it shows him with the ... like as Brandon, and then right after that it shows the Dante.
Mhm.
I like panels like that, like especially because it's two halves, it's two different people. It's two halves of the same, two sides to the same coin. Those is really nice. Also, I like Karen's drip.
Yeah, she got.
Drip?
Well, she had drip in chapter 1. I knew that was gonna continue.
Yeah, and then now I see her with the strap boots and the skull belt.
I would like to say that Necrosama called what would happen as a joke, and it did happen. So, what was the prize for winning, Necrosama? What did you guys say?
Hatred.
Hatred?
You
Was
get
that
that
really the
regardless.
prize?
Because I was mad that I'm right. It went so well, but I'm still mad.
Right, but yeah, so whatever the prize was, you won. So good for you, my dude.
Yeah. If you want, send a comment of a character in the series, and we'll do some fan art of it. There we go.
Everybody who watches it is just like, I did get it right. See my comment that's like a week late? It's fine.
Hey, look, comments have timestamps. We'll know if you cheated.
You guys keep reading.
I will keep reading, specifically for one reason, is because one thing that I do when reading stories like this that have cliches is seeing how well they are at executing things, because there are a lot of times where things are cool in cliche moments, but you can tell by the way that it's written that it was not done on purpose. So I can't trust their storytelling. But in this one, I can trust their storytelling a lot because it's already cliche, but they're already executing it very well. So one thing that I feel like is going to be cliche and something that we know is coming, I want to see how that pans out, because since she really likes the real him and she sees the fake him at school, you know there's going to be a big thing about her wanting him to be the real him even at school. So I want to see how that plays out. So yes, I will continue reading.
That is a question. How are they going to do like a secret relationship thing, or are they going to be together in school? She's going to be dating Brandon, or
Cat fight with Cindy
Exactly.
potentially.
Like, because it could be like, since she's also putting on a facade at school, is she going to be like, they're going to hate each other during school but date afterwards? And then what's going to be the turning point if that is the case?
because they're both playing, they're both faking us. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Either they're gonna. I don't even know what. I don't want to say nothing because last time I was right and
Be
hurt
right.
my soul.
No, you might as well say it now. Yeah.
Either it's gonna be a confrontation because Cindy's gonna try to get with Brandon,
Oh no.
and Karen's gonna be jelly, and it's just gonna hurt the relationship a little bit. I think I can see that one happen more than the other option of them actually going to start dating at school as Brandon and Karen instead of Dante and Karen, and that could just be stressful in itself.
I hope it does not get stressful.
Get tired of just faking. Well, I'm pretty sure at some point they're already tired of pretending to be someone else, right?
Oh yeah.
It's going to add more stress when you're going to have to pretend that you're not dating. Like imagine dating someone but not allowing anyone to know it. It's just you're not like, hey, I really like that person. I want to go over there and talk to them, but no, we're being secret.
Mm-hmm. That's how it was for one of Mark Curley's books, Mickey Falls. Had pretty much the same idea.
I still need to read that. I need to read that. No, we're gonna review that. Cut that out. Yeah, I can see either one of those happening. Either they're actually that's the same situation. Yeah.
My prediction is that, well, one, I will say that I want to keep reading, and even if you guys said no, I would read chapter 3 without you. So I would keep reading, which is saying a lot because I'm not always that person who's like, yes, let's go, but I'm really excited. And I think what's going to happen is rather than taking it to the school aspect, which would make things kind of stressful, I think he's going to introduce her to the band, and that she's going to start like Ravencross is going to be a bigger part of her life. And school stuff is going to kind of be like, Cindy's going to be like talking about how, like he's looking for his soulmate and things like that. and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, Cindy," and that's me, heckin', like in her head, not to Cindy's face, and Cindy, and like she's gonna be like, "Yeah, best of luck, Cindy," on the outside. Like at school, they'll also maybe share a glance or two, but anything big. And if they do share a glance, Cindy will be like, "Oh my gosh, he is looking at me," and Karen's like, "Yeah, totally."
I can see so much stress coming in the next few chapters.
Oh, I'm hoping not.
Here's the thing.
I love-
If my man introduces her to Ravenclaw, is that what the name of the band?
Cross.
Ravencross.
Ravencross. Why am I so terrible with names? I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this on purpose. But if he introduces her,
Ravenclaw, as in the hecking.
that's why I was so confused. I'm like,
I just
Ravenclaw.
realized it.
That's Harry Potter, but I didn't want to say
Yeah.
okay.
Ravencross. You can start over.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay. So if he introduces her to Ravencross, if her and freaking John Boy doesn't have interaction, I'm not reading it anymore.
Oh my! You just want the anger. You just want to
I
read.
just want to see the anger, dog.
You know he's gonna be like, "Hey, like you better not break his heart."
You
He's
better
like, I
make
can
it
see
look
him
like
You
a heart.
black
I'm
man?
gonna smash this guitar over your head. But I also feel like she would give the sass right back to him. So I want to see them interact with each other.
You better treat him right.
You better treat him. Well, you better make sure you don't mess up again. I heard about you. Like,
Okay. He's like, what you got for final thoughts?
You know what? I'm just up here looking up the trope page for this, like, that old Joe, so I'm gonna laugh. But at the same time, I already know what my thoughts were. I'm going on to chapter 3, dog. I, much like Akashic, needs to see how John is when he sees what the present situation is. Because I got a feeling that's going to be entertaining. Also, I'm going to keep going purely because, and y'all probably going to hate me for saying this, but so, you know how we went through this chapter and we got the blackmail question answered? And we got to see those two start to get to know each other. And we already know how Cindy feels about Brandon. And we saw that these two kind of have a little bit of chemistry of the romantic variety going. So by the end of this, even though it wasn't explicitly stated, it gave us the question of how is Cindy gonna deal with this information once it comes to light? Oh, look at that. A reason to keep going.
It's funny. I don't think Brandon cannot date anyone because he would have to have that wig on even longer.
Yep.
Also, Karen's family doesn't have money, so his mom is not going to approve.
Oh yeah.
Okay, first of all, you know what they're gonna have to do? Go that sitcom route where you gotta like make yourself appear like something that you're not to the rich people that like are the benefactors of the person you dating or whatever. You already know that's gonna happen at some point. If not in these chapters that are available right now, it'll probably happen at some point.
But
in the
Mom,
future.
I love her.
Yeah, well, we don't like her figures, so.
Oh wait, here's another question.
Oh.
I didn't think of. Remember, you know why they're only doing a show every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because he's in high school. When he graduates, what the crap's going to happen?
Oh, snap.
And we're close to graduation, which is another reason why I wanted to keep reading, because I'm hoping he can just say like bye to his family and not have to deal with that stress.
They
Oh
can
my
go
gosh, look at
go
that.
touring. What is she going to? Is she going to be? She's going to go on tour with them? Is she going to go to college? How long is this relationship going to last? What's going to happen? All right.
Look at that, man. Motivation to keep reading. I love it. I'm crying over here.
All right. Any last thoughts before we transition?
Read this or else your life sucks without it. See, I told you were going to feel good with this little review this week. Didn't that feel good to listen to? Don't you feel good just looking at these two blossoming lovebirds just trying to figure out how life works in each other at the same time? It's going to just be such a feel-good ride as we read more of this the next time around. So, here's what's going to happen. You all felt so good, you don't even notice that we pulled into the airport already. You ain't feel the descent or nothing. That's just how great you felt with our review this week. So, now it's time for you to feel that seatbelt buckle, feel that clicking sound as you take it off, and feel you exiting the plane. So, go live your life somewhere else.
Attention passengers, this is your Captain Necro Sama speaking. The one with the bunny ears and the mask. We just finished another episode of Top Flight Reads. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you like videos like this, we have a playlist of other ones you can check out. If there's anything you agree with or disagree with in this chapter, go ahead and leave a comment below. If there's any series you'd like us to read or check out, leave it in the comment below. If you look in the description below, you can find a link to Jessica H. Voice in her social media and where you can read Love Metal. We are really enjoying this series so far, and we'll be back again next week for chapter 3. Let's all say goodbye to the people.
Well, as part of the everyone else who does not have a name, I hope you all had a wonderful flight.
Yeah, we will see you all next week in chapter 3. It's gonna be an exciting one, so I'll see y'all then. Until then, get the heck off the plane.
All right, so I'll talk to y'all later. Chapter 3, here we go.